Hey guys, so I'm not wearing makeup today because I just wasn't really feeling like it, and I just did my fake tan today morning, and I think that's enough. Like, I feel like doing a fake tan just means you don't have to do your makeup. Today was all about Gypsy Rose. I did not speak about Gypsy Rose at all up until now, and now we kind of have a bit of a resolution to this whole thing-ish. I had really mixed feelings about the whole thing. Now, if you guys don't know about the story of Gypsy Rose, like, I am not the one to give you the whole rundown of the whole true crime case. If you just look up any true crime channels, I bet they talked about the whole thing. Gypsy Rose is, well, now an adult woman who was essentially abused by her mother because she had Munchausen by proxy, which is her mother pretended that she was really sick to have attention and sympathy from people, and then Gypsy had her, at the time, boyfriend murder her mum, and the boyfriend's still in jail, well, the ex now, and she was recently released. And because of this whole story, and people felt really bad for her, when she was getting released from jail, she essentially became an overnight sensation, like 7 million followers on TikTok, articles, interviews, blah blah blah. Now, while she was in jail, she did have a few boyfriends, even one fiance, I'm pretty sure, and then he kind of didn't like the attention, and so then she ended up getting with Ryan, who's the guy that she left with, left jail to be with. Well, she didn't like leave jail to be with him. Do you guys know what I mean? Like, she left and then they were together, and then they were able to finally like be a couple and be a marriage, you know, once she left jail. So everyone was basically either really happy for her, weirded out by the whole thing, not happy for her at all. There were definitely some people that just like don't feel bad for her at all. And then some people got really bad vibes from Ryan, that he was like this attention seeker, like wanted to be a celebrity, was clearly preying on her by sending letters to women in jails to like get a date. And then some people liked him and felt like he was like nice for her, I guess. This was probably like a month ago. She deleted all of her social media. This is written by People on March 15th. Excuse me. So, People wrote about this on the 15th of March, saying why Gypsy Rose Blanchard abruptly deleted her social media accounts. Her parole officer is allegedly the reason why she did this. There was a lot of trouble with people feeling like she was breaking the conditions of her, like, you know, when you leave jail, there are certain conditions that you have to go by. Like, for example, when she wanted to go to the Eras tour by Taylor Swift, she apparently left state lines, which means that was like going against the conditions of her leaving prison. And so there were just little bits and bobs like that were just like, she's clearly showing everyone every step of her journey outside of prison, which can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. Now, she does have a Lifetime show coming out, and now obviously she's off social media. The promo for that is dwindling, but I'm pretty sure people are still quite interested, and maybe this is like actually building more tension for that show, because there are obviously going to be things that we don't know about in that show because she's not posting on social media anymore. So Blanchard highlighted her regret surrounding coming out of prison and all the interviews. So she's obviously kind of regretting all of that now. So she wanted to set the record straight with her followers before departing from social media. So on Thursday, Blanchard 32 took to TikTok, that was a mouthful, to share a video which has since been deleted along with the rest of her account on TikTok and other platforms, in which she said she felt regret and apologized to all the people that I offended with my lack of accountability. And that's mainly because in interviews people would ask her, you know, do you feel bad because your ex is still in jail, Nicholas, and you're out? And, you know, she kind of would avoid the question away and be like, oh, well, you know, I can only look at myself and I can only go forward with my life. I can't keep on kind of living in the past. But I guess that is easy for her to say because she's out of jail and he's going to be in jail for a while. And actually, spoiler alert, his appeal has been rejected, so he's going to continue being in jail. A source explained to People that her decision was at the advisement of her parole officer, so she won't get in trouble and go back to jail. Okay, it's parole terms is what I was attempting to say. To my family, my dad and my husband, all I am is just Gypsy, and they love me for who I am. Blanchard led off the video, noting that it's why my private Facebook and my private Instagram has #LoveForWhoIam as my bio. And apparently it was mainly her dad that kind of encouraged her to go private and like live a life, experience what it's like not being famous and just being a regular person, because she obviously never got to do that. So she continued, number one, to all the people that I offended with lack of accountability the first month or so that I was out of prison and the lack of accountability in my interviews, I'm sorry, I'm learning, I take accountability for my part, and I'm saying this right now, I'm taking accountability, I did a bad thing. However, she added that she has been given a second chance at life, and as a result asks her followers to give her a little grace. Let my actions match my words and we'll go from there. I definitely have a good support system, and I think I'm just now starting to get around to listening to my inner self instead of all the noise that's been on social media. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching and hearing me out. And she concluded by stating that the intention of the video was to offer a public apology to anyone that felt offended by my lack of accountability, particularly highlighting her regret surrounding coming out of prison and all the interviews and stuff like that. Because I mean, from the get-go, it was just like straight into interviews, like TV, and you know, it's a bit much for some people, I think, but some people thought, well, what kind of job can she have coming out of jail. That's a lot of the issues with reforming kind of ex-prison members, prison goers, is the fact that when you leave prison, it's very hard for you to get a job. So then people end up going back to the life of crime because they are forced to, just because they can't get a job and get their life back in order, because people don't want to hire people with a criminal record. So people are saying, like, what kind of job can she have? This is one of the most famous cases in the world. She's one of the most famous, like, criminals in the world. Everyone knows who she is. Everyone can see her criminal record. Like, what kind of job could she have other than selling a book, doing interviews, selling a show? You know, like, she has to make money somehow, otherwise she'll just end up back in jail. I'm trying to take steps forward, if that makes sense. Later that evening, Blanchard, who was previously incarcerated for a second-degree murder charge stemming from conspiring with her ex-boyfriend Nick Gojon to kill her mother Dee Dee in her Springfield home on June 9th, 2015, deleted her social media presence across all platforms. March 29th, literally like 14 days later, Gypsy Rose Blanchard announced her separation from her husband 3 months after prison release. So she married her husband while in prison July 2022, and now essentially March 2024 they are separating. She announced it on Facebook. So she said, people have been asking what is going on in my life. Unfortunately, my husband and I are going through a separation, and I moved in with my parents' home down the bayou. I have the support of my family and friends to help guide me through this. I'm learning to listen to my heart. Right now, I need time to let myself find who I am. She wrote in a statement obtained by people from her private Facebook account. And they did tie the knot in a jailhouse ceremony with no guests in July 2022, but she's only been out of jail for 3 months. So they've really only been a real kind of married couple for 3 months. So in an interview with People ahead of her early release in December, she did say that she planned to marry him properly. So they did plan on having a reception / redo wedding with all our family and our friends, and the dress and the cake and everything, because we deserve that, I deserve that, he deserves that. Our prison wedding was just something to where we can make our vows to each other. It was something that meant something to us. And I think the party is kind of for everybody else and us, but mostly for everybody else. While she's separated with Ryan, but not yet filed divorce, she meets up with her ex-fiance Ken Urker, which is the guy I told you guys about, where they were engaged and he broke it off because there was so much publicity around her. And then she met Ryan, and then you know the rest. In an interview with People, Ken Urker's mother, Raina Williams, confirmed the two got lunch and went to a tattoo parlor in the days after Blanchard announced her split from Anderson. Blanchard's cousin, Bobby Petra, who owns the parlor, confirms to People the pair got tattoos together. They literally got matching tattoos. But they are not back together. Williams says they're very cool. Ken is just being a supportive friend to her, and that's it. Williams later added, I think she's a sweet girl. I think she's made her mistakes and she's trying to learn from them like anyone else, and I care a lot for Gypsy and I want to see good things for her. And Williams also said that she and her family have a sympathetic view of Blanchard, stating that she and Urker watched Mummy Dead and Dearest at around the same time and learnt of Blanchard's story from the documentary. After watching, Urker wrote a letter to Blanchard in prison in 2018, and they obviously got engaged and then he broke it off. So then people are wondering, you know, how is Ryan taking it? And this is so, like, obviously weird because she was so publicly, like, hyping him up. I mean, we all remember the D is fire, you know, thing. She was such a supportive wife, and she was defending him to the depths of, actually, what was the actual Gypsy Rose, the D is fire. Ryan, don't listen to the haters. I love you and you love me. We do not owe anyone anything. Our family is who matters. If you get likes and good comments, great. If you get hate, then whatever, because they don't matter. I love you. Besides, they jealous because you are rocking my world every night. Yeah, I said it. The D is fire. Happy wife, happy life. You do want a supportive wife like this. You absolutely do. People are like, let's check in on Ryan. How is Ryan doing in all of this? Because clearly the D, I mean, it was fire, but maybe just wasn't enough to keep the relationship going. Sometimes it really is just like, you don't know how the relationship's gonna go until you live together. Like, that is the tea and the shade of it all. So he actually posted an update, basically giving everyone a bit of a, you know, hey everybody, this is how life's going, like, blah, blah. And he still plugs the show that's coming out on Lifetime. So people are wondering, like, is this promo for the show? Are they gonna get back together after this? But I don't know, because if I tell you guys the last bit of news, you'll not think so too.
Hey everybody, I just want to say thank y'all for the support and the nice messages I've been getting from people. I'm at a friend's watching WrestleMania right now. It's great. I'm enjoying it. You know, I've been a wrestling nerd for a long time. But I need to shave. But you know, I just want to thank everybody for the support. It's been great. I'm just living my life, guys. Y'all will see what really happened on Lifetime. We were filming a lot, so Stay tuned for that. And I just want to thank everybody for the support. If you support me, follow me. I will post more stuff eventually. I'm just hanging in. I just want to say thank y'all to everybody, and God bless.
So Gypsy Rose Blanchard files to divorce Ryan on the 8th of April. So according to court records, Gypsy Rose Blanchard filed for divorce on Monday, and she's the petitioner here, so this is everything from her side. We don't know the exact details of what she's asking for just yet, but we do know Gypsy's filed and that it's registered in the system, so it's like official that they are filing for divorce. So TMZ previously actually reported that sources said Gypsy claims that Ryan gets super argumentative following her prison release, which left her feeling low. So the issues were obviously enough for her to call it quits. So we're starting to get a bit of a hint that things are not too good. Then she actually got a nose job, which is a weird kind of blip in this whole story. And Dr. Paul Nassif, who is a plastic surgery doctor, warned Gypsy Rose Blanchard prior to her nose surgery. He has an urgent warning, and he basically said that he hopes that she doesn't find herself addicted to cosmetic surgery, as the doctor claims many people tend to whittle away at their face after getting the first procedure. And nose job is quite a big change. It drastically changes the way your face looks. So he's basically just saying I hope she doesn't start to get everything done now that she has the money to do so and the freedom to do so, which I think is a very reasonable take. He actually is on the Botched show, which makes sense where he would give her this warning, because he probably sees a lot of people that overdid it and now they're regretting it. And then it was revealed recently that there was no prenup with Ryan, but now obviously when she was in jail she didn't really have anything to her name, but now she's left and she's made probably a substantial amount of money, but she has no prenup. There's no prenup in place, although the consequences of that are a bit hazy. So sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ that Gypsy and her now estranged husband didn't hash out a prenup before they got hitched, while Gypsy was still incarcerated because they thought their marriage was the real deal. So Louisiana, where they live, is a community property state, so no prenup means each of them will be entitled to half of whatever they both earned during the marriage, and nearly 2 years in, Gypsy's made a little bundle. Our sources say Gypsy had a trust fund set up before the marriage, which specified her earnings from the first season of her Lifetime show, The Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Obviously, she had the first show as well. Everything after that, however, would be fair game and prior to be divvied up. Unclear how much Gypsy and Ryan are worth individually. So we do know they both signed up for a second season of Gypsy's show, and she also released a memoir. So Ryan is currently a middle school special ed teacher and appears to own his own home. Finances aside, we're told Gypsy's hoping they can handle the divorce maturely without things getting nasty. She's already decided to let Ryan keep their pup, Pixie, because of their strong bond. And then this just dropped, this news, yesterday. So Gypsy Rose Blanchard files temporary restraining order amid divorce from husband. So let's hope that this all goes maturely and we all blah blah. And then suddenly she's filing for a restraining order. So she has filed a temporary restraining order against estranged husband Ryan Anderson. Court documents obtained by People Show. So attorneys for Blanchard filed the restraining order in the 17th Judicial District Court in the parish of Lafourche. I'm not even going to try and repeat that. You guys know what I said because you can read it on screen. Blanchard is also requesting Addison to pay interim and long-term spousal support because Blanchard is in need and defendant has ability to pay, and she is not at fault for the dissolution of the marriage. She's also asking the court to deny spousal support for him from her per the documents. And that's really all we have. So we just have temporary restraining order, and she's asking to not pay him, but she's asking to get paid. I was editing this video because I filmed it literally last week, and I'm adding in an extra bit, and I've been doing that for the last few videos, but at least you guys get a more up-to-date video instead of me having to stretch it over 2 videos. So we now know roughly why Gypsy Rose is divorcing her husband, and this is written by independent.co.uk. Inside Gypsy Rose Blanchard's divorce, as she and ex-husband file restraining orders, so they're now filing them against each other, which is interesting. So Blanchard filed her restraining order on 8th of April. So according to court records reviewed by People, Anderson filed his restraining order on April 11th. So it was literally 3 days later. So the former couple had separated on the 25th of March, and she is seeking interim and final spousal support as he is at fault in the dissolution of the marriage, and is requesting that he not be issued any support. So court ruling is currently scheduled for the 23rd of May, so I guess we'll know by then. So according to TMZ, the split was regarding a fight over Anderson's food hoarding habits. A source told the outlet that Blanchard wasn't aware of this habit prior to moving in with Anderson. So the source claimed that Anderson would keep and collect food items in bulk, which reminded Blanchard of her late mother. This habit also reportedly led to her estranged husband keeping many expired items in his refrigerator. Blanchard had reportedly decided to clean out the fridge when Anderson wasn't home, sparking a huge argument when he returned. So TMZ reported that Blanchard became worried to see something as simple as a refrigerator leading to an argument, and it had left her shaken. She also reportedly had a problem with her husband snoring, as well as him running hot at night, describing Anderson as a human furnace when she likes to sleep on the cooler side. Blanchard initially took to a private Facebook account to announce that she and her husband were separating. The separation came 3 months after Blanchard was released from Missouri prison, where she served more than 8 years in prison. We know that. I'm never here to tell someone why they should and shouldn't stay with someone, but is getting divorced over someone running hot at night and then like hoarding food? I mean, I don't know the extent of any of that, so it's just hard to say like what is and isn't a correct reason to divorce. It is coming really soon after, you know, leaving prison. Maybe they did need a bit of an acclimation period, like getting used to each other, maybe like a year or something. But if it's really bad, then it is what it is. But that is basically the reason. I just wanted to throw that in because otherwise this video would be so incomplete, and I'll just leave you guys with that. That is basically what's happening right now with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Let me know what you guys think about any of it. Did you guys see it basically ending up here, a bit of a mess, or did you hope for better for her? But yeah, subscribe with the like, comment for engagement. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.